Paul Thomas Anderson, you son of a gun, you've done it again. I love how this man came in and dropped one of the best films of the year and arguably of the decade. Peak cinema at its finest. And now we can move on from Licorice Pizza. So One Battle After Another is the latest film from Paul Thomas Anderson. The film stars Leonardo DiCaprio, Tiana Taylor, Regina Hall, Chase Infinity, Benicio del Toro, and Sean Penn. When the evil nemesis of a former revolutionist resurfaces and his daughter Willa goes missing, the former radical scrambles to find her as they both battle the consequences of their past. Paul Thomas Anderson is a director that needs no introduction. The guy has a crazy catalog and has directed a lot of films that some people would argue are all-timers. And One Battle After Another is another addition to the collection. The entire story is insane. Nothing could have prepared me for the direction this story takes. I love how the story goes from an illustration of revolutions against fascism to an action-packed, epic, comedic, and heartwarming finale. The film dives into a lot of different themes. The story serves as one giant middle finger to white supremacy, fascism, and injustice and oppression, while also exploring the family dynamics within political turmoil, and how the next generation will carry hope for the future. All of these themes are here and they are not sugar-coated and they are done tastefully. I had no idea where or how this movie was going to end. I didn't even know the direction of where it would go because it was so unpredictable. But I love how the film just keeps you guessing on what's the next step, what's going to happen to our characters, how will this all wrap up. But this film did it in the best way possible. As you would expect, the film has incredible acting. Every single actor delivered to the point where it's kind of hard for me to say who was my favorite. You have Leonardo playing the paranoid, edgy, yet comedic father. You have the charismatic Benicio del Toro, whose character we don't know a lot about, but when he's on screen, his presence pretty much tells you his story. Even behind those eyes, there is a story there. Regina Hall and Tiana Taylor bringing in the fierce tension. But if I had to pick my favorite two, if I really had to pick, it's gotta come down to Chase Infinity and Sean Penn. Chase Infinity's character was the heart and the soul of this entire movie. Playing the child of two former revolutionists who learns more about her father and her mother's doings, and rather dismissing it, she steps up to the plate and still continues to carry on the legacy. I thought she was fierce, commanding, intense, and is easily one of the best breakout performances of 2025. I look forward to more of her work in the future. And then you have Sean Penn, who honestly, this might be top 5 movie villains ever. I'm not gonna lie. This guy was so intimidating and so scary that you literally did not know what his next move would be. This man's presence is about as scary as his haircut. Every time he said a word, I didn't know whether to laugh or be terrified or both. In my opinion, Sean Penn gave an all-time performance. He was a great antagonist. The way they handled his character in the very end was chef's kiss. If it were up to me, I would somehow, some way, find a way to get the entire cast nominated for Oscars. And can I just say, this movie is way funnier than I would have thought. Who would have thought that a film about fighting against white supremacy and fascism would end up having so many comedic parts? I was kind of expecting more drama than comedy, but arguably, it's kind of the perfect 50-50 blend. There are so many quotables in this movie, like Paul Thomas Anderson was in his bag when he wrote these jokes. And if it wasn't the jokes themselves that made it funny, it was at least the delivery. That Mexican hairless vagina joke is crazy. But I 1000% agree. And the film is just beautiful to look at. Like, I mean, it is gorgeous. There are so many mesmerizing shots in this film. One of the most iconic scenes in the entire film has to be the road scene. That image right there needs to be hung up in a museum somewhere because the tension was through the roof. Now I understand why the road had its own poster. That whole segment is one of the best chase scenes I've ever seen in my entire life. And that camera work was magnificent. I think the one thing I didn't like in this movie, and it's kind of a nitpick, but not really. There is a plot twist that involves Sean Penn's character. I believe his name was Sergeant Lockjaw. There's a reveal of his character and I feel like it was pretty obvious. The way it was executed in like the beginning of the second act made you think, okay, this is going where I think it's going. And by the third act, I predicted it. But it did not ruin my experience. I still love the film regardless. But in the end, guys, One Battle After Another is an eye-opening and unique theatrical experience. The anxiety, the humor, the tension, the great acting, and the overall story will keep you on edge from start to finish. Like I said, this is peak cinema. So plugging One Battle After Another into the rank system, I am placing this one into the pinnacle zone. I just need to know, what did Paul Thomas Anderson say to WB for them to give him $150 million to make an anti-fascist epic story? Like, this is crazy. I don't know how Paul Thomas Anderson did it, but that man got sauce. But yeah, y'all, that is pretty much my review for One Battle After Another. Let me know down in the comment section below what you guys thought about the film. Did you love it? Did you hate it? What is your favorite Paul Thomas Anderson film? Whatever you thought, let me know down in the comment section below. And as always, guys, leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you all in the next one.